Good, happy Saturday morning, June 12, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Saturday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to for this Saturday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, so let's begin. First up, drug overdoses are rising statewide as pandemic restrictions fall. Suspected overdoses in Manchester and Nashua increased by 26% from April to May. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Their reviews? Our reviews.
I'm so happy.
Find out what we're all about at adamvroofing.com.
Manchester's Safe Station saw some of its lowest numbers at the start of the year, but health officials say that's changing quickly, with about 80 people coming here last month to look for addiction help. COVID-19 numbers are dropping in New Hampshire, but there's a resurgence of another health crisis. Friday night, a Nashua American Medical Response ambulance heads to a potential overdose call. AMR says suspected overdoses in Manchester and Nashua increased by 26% from April to May. Officials say May's total of 72 was the most in a single month since June of 2019.
It gives us concern that, in the summer months, which we typically see as higher opioid overdose months, that we're going to be back probably at levels we haven't seen in several years.
Chris Stawans of AMR says there was a decrease in overdoses during the pandemic with fewer people out. But as restrictions lift and life returns to normal, substance abuse is on the rise. AMR is projecting overdose deaths this year in Manchester will exceed last year's total of 39.
One death is too many, and we want to do everything that we can to prevent them.
Stawans says they're seeing people using multiple substances, including methamphetamine mixed with fentanyl.
We're hearing from people that they will essentially use anything they can get their hands on, which is really concerning to us.
He's emphasizing the importance of getting people help.
We can't take our eyes off this problem. It leads to other problems, long-term, short-term, public safety problems that are going to be out there, and we have to make sure that an adequate amount of attention is focused on it, as it was in the past.
In a positive trend, Narcan use set a record last month in the Queen City. Officials say more people now have access to the life-saving overdose reversal drug. In Manchester, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Members of LEACT Commission react to meeting request rejected on state budget controversy. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Consolidated Fiber Internet offers a better connection to everything. Video chat more reliably without losing your connection. Work and learn from home with fast upload and download speeds. Get fiber speeds up to 1 gig and no data cap ever. Sign up for Consolidated Fiber Internet today.
It's disappointing that we're not even able to have the discussion.
James McKim of the Manchester NAACP is among the members of the Governor's Commission on Law Enforcement Accountability, Community, and Transparency, who want to publicly discuss the divisive concepts language in the state budget, which aims to stop certain education and diversity training that involve ideas like implicit bias.
That's what transparency is about, having the discussion. Regardless of where the chips may fall after the discussion, but the trust that we want to build is built by having discussion, having a dialogue.
The Attorney General responded that such a meeting would be outside the scope of the original executive order establishing the commission, and in his view would not impact the commission's recommendations. But some commission members say it would undermine their most important recommendations, including implicit bias and cultural responsiveness training for law enforcement, and they want the chance to formally explore that.
We deserve to know, as well as Granite Staters deserve to know, whether or not this bill is going to impact those things, considering that the governor felt that they were important enough to create a whole commission to discuss this.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Schools offer help to students struggling with return to classroom. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided to sell tractors out of their barn, with a work ethic geared towards customer satisfaction and loyalty. A lot has changed since then, but we still have a commitment to treating our customers like family. At Chapel Tractor, we have the experience to get the job done right, with locations in Milford and Brentwood and Concord, New Hampshire. We provide customers with the highest quality equipment from the most trusted brands. Go to chapeltractor.com or stop in for a visit.
There won't be the traditional summer vacation in some districts. Instead, schools plan to keep students engaged to help them deal with any anxiety. Windham is offering summer camp to all students K through 12, as well as counseling and training faculty to help students adjust.
We are giving a lot of professional development to our teachers. With our counselors.
In Somersworth, students can meet with staff to catch up on connections and studies. Similar programs in Londonderry to help students reconnect.
We know that academics are important, but we also need their mental health to be important too.
Psychotherapist Lynn Lyons says a lot of anxiety and depression is connected to being separated and isolated, so parents should not make children more anxious about returning to the group settings many crave.
As kids are going back to school and they're getting back together again, one of the things that's so important is for parents and other adults to pay attention to their tone about it. Because remember that worry is really contagious and kids are really taking a lot of cues from the adults.
Her advice, don't worry too much about falling behind academically. After an intense year, make unstructured play a priority this summer.
I think we all need to just relax about that a little bit. Let them play. Let them fill up their tanks a little bit. In all the wonderful ways that childhood and summer let kids do that.
Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Lakes region prepares for Motorcycle Week to return to pre-pandemic form. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Their reviews? Our reviews.
I'm so happy.
Find out what we're all about at adamvroofing.com.
Woohoo!
And that pretty much sums up the mood around Laconia as excitement builds for the 98th Laconia Motorcycle Week.
It is just wonderful. We get to do what we do best, which is hospitality.
Cynthia Macris, president of the Nassau Resort, says rooms are filling up and a lot is planned for what's expected to be a very busy week.
Tomorrow, 15th annual Peter Macris Memorial Run in my dad's memory. And we have 40 leathernecks leading the ride in honor. My dad was a World War II Marine, so I am humbled that they are coming.
Motorcycle Week is a huge economic boost, not just for the city of Laconia, but for the entire Lakes region. The Nassau, along with other businesses, are hoping to make up for losses experienced last year when Motorcycle Week was held on a smaller scale because of COVID-19 mandates.
Laconia Motorcycle Week, we bring in over $100 million into the state of New Hampshire in 9 days, which is so crucial right now to all the businesses.
I think everybody's excited. You can feel it. I mean, the vendors, people that haven't been here that wanted to come last year, obviously restrictions for different areas were a little bit tighter, so I think everyone's ready. I think rain or shine, it's going to be a good one this year.
There's definitely excitement. It's great to see down at the Weirs all the vendors coming back and people coming up. They like to ride the motorcycle, and then during the week we usually get some boat rentals out of it.
And with an influx of motorcycles in the city and around the Lakes region, Laconia's police chief is just asking everyone to keep an extra eye out on the roads. Reporting in Laconia, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. City public health departments keep up vaccination push as state of emergency ends. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
As we ease back into life with friends and family, Mahindra is here to help on the good days and the tough ones. So visit whymahindra.com and build your tough tractor. Your Mahindra dealer will give you a quote and deliver to your land. Mahindra, the official tractor of tough. Get special savings now during Mahindra's summer sale.
Chapel Tractor, where you'll notice the difference since 1955.
Manchester and Nashua have borne the brunt of the COVID-19 pandemic in New Hampshire, and their respective health departments are still front and center after more than a year in battle against the virus. Now, as the state scales back its involvement in the day-to-day response to COVID-19, those health departments are keeping up the fight.
We will continue to provide vaccination clinics at pop-up clinics in the community, as well as at some scheduled clinics at sites. For instance, at Elm Street Middle School on Tuesday afternoons.
We're also doing a lot of mobile clinics. We have opened up the health department on Mondays and Wednesdays for anybody who wants to walk up without an appointment to get vaccinated.
To get more shots in arms, cities are charting their own path, as Governor Chris Sununu remains against offering vaccine incentives from the state level.
Do you think incentives would work? Would they help boost those vaccine numbers?
Adam, that is a great question. And we actually are using vaccine incentives in Nashua. And, as Anna talked about with the community health workers, we've had a team that's been out in the community, going to barbershops, going to churches. We've been meeting people in parks. So we're offering $5 gift cards to Dunkin' Donuts for individuals if they get vaccinated, or if they bring a friend to be vaccinated.
Nashua and Manchester are still working on vaccine equity to reach the state's most diverse populations. But in this transition time, they're also concerned about community mental health.
We want people to have that access to care when they need it most. And certainly, this is something that I feel will be a big part of our future for possibly years ahead.
Adam Sexton, WMUR.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. No new COVID-19 deaths reported in New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
A lot goes into taking care of your property. You need equipment with more reliability, durability, and versatility built in. Like #1 selling Kubota compact tractors that can do it all right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut. And the Sidekick utility vehicle built for hard work and fun at 40 miles per hour. Kubota equipment lives up to the highest standards. Yours. Visit your local dealer today.
Chapel Tractor, where you'll notice the difference since 1955.
And tonight, DHHS reporting 44 new COVID cases and 0 new deaths. 338 cases remain active and 30 people are hospitalized. More than 60% of the state has gotten at least one dose of a COVID vaccine so far, and nearly 700,000 people in the state are fully vaccinated.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Royal Palm Beach public shooting update. Let's take a listen to that video from WPBF 25 News, Florida.
Big moments,
Big dreams, big wins.
Yeah, the Sheriff's Office just wrapped up their news conference a very short time ago, and they say there are two major developments to talk about. The first one is they continue to search but have yet to find a connection between the suspect and his victims. They say right now this appears to have just been a random shooting. And the second development is they say that the suspect actually warned people that he was going to do something exactly like this. Investigators say they have been able to look at security video from inside that Publix, and they say it shows the suspect, Timothy Wall, just walk up to the one-year-old boy sitting in a grocery cart and shoot him. The boy's grandmother then attacks Wall, causing Wall's gun to jam. He eventually overpowers her, he shoots her, and then he shoots himself. Again, investigators have found no motive for this, but they do say Wall's ex-wife told them Wall had been paranoid, acting strangely. And Wall also posted on social media that he wanted to kill people and children.
You think a damn soul told us about that? No. And if it sounds like I'm angry, I am, because if somebody would have gotten involved and called us on the phone and said, hey, this may not be anything, but it may be something, because this person is talking about bad things and he's acting strange.
Investigators are not releasing the names of the victims, but they say the grandmother tackling Wall may have saved lives. They don't know what his intentions were after shooting that little boy. And one last thing, they say right now they're trying to figure out how it is that Wall got his hands on that gun. They say originally it was sold to somebody else. They don't know how it eventually got to Wall. That's the very latest reporting live in West Palm Beach. Ari Height, WPBF 25 News.
Thank you, Ari. As we continue to learn more details about what happened inside that Publix, we're also hearing from neighbors of the shooter, and we talked with some shoppers who returned to the store today to pick up belongings they left behind to escape the gunfire. Steve King joins us live from the Publix in Royal Palm Beach with what people are saying the day after that horrific shooting. Steve?
Todd, well, the shoppers who had to leave in a hurry during all that chaos, they were able to pick up their belongings earlier today, but a memorial also has been growing throughout the day for everyone to be able to remember that almost 2-year-old boy and his grandmother who were killed while just trying to spend the day going shopping.
She heard the 3 shots and didn't think. Just grabbed Natalie.
Pam Taplin picked up her friend's purse from Publix today. Pam's friend was also shopping with her grandchild when shots rang out from the other side of the store.
It's our local Publix and it's scared. Very sad. But she heard the 3 shots and took off. Left her purse, left her phone, left everything, just grabbed her granddaughter.
Other shoppers wanted to place flowers and stuffed animals at the memorial site.
I always come here to shop, and I had a 1-year-old, so I feel the pain.
Not only paying their respects, but thinking about how everything can change in an instant.
You never know what's gonna happen. Like, I bring my daughters here all the time with me. Like, we don't know where to be safe anymore.
Publix representatives shared a brief statement outside of the store today.
The tragedy that occurred at our store yesterday, for the community, for our Publix family, and for the families of the victims, our hearts and thoughts are with them. We, at this point, have offered grief counseling to our associates.
We also went to Wall's last known address. A neighbor says he has not seen him in the last couple years.
We were pretty surprised because the last time we talked to them, they seemed very nice and pleasant and pretty normal. That's very scary, actually, because we have a 1-year-old, so it's it kind of hits you like pretty hard, you know.
And we have learned that this Publix in Royal Palm Beach is set to reopen tomorrow morning at 7. And coming up at 5:30, we're going to hear more about Timothy Wall, his life and history. Reporting live in Royal Palm Beach, Steve King, WPBF 25 News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this Saturday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you back here later on for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.